also a chiropractor, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is a little podcast that we do here for people who have questions about chiropractic. I've always said if you have questions about a chiropractic care or chiropractic, you should always ask a chiropractor, not your family physician or somebody else. Simply for the fact that they don't have the education on chiropractic. Just like I would never ask my family doctor a question about a cavity in my mouth, I would ask my dentist. So people ask me questions about chiropractic all the time. I come on here and I try to answer them on this forum and share them with everybody else. Now, I myself am the team chiropractor for the Rockford IceHawks, the Chicago Blackhawks AHL affiliate. I've been doing that for 18 years, and I'm a proud graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic. I practice here in Rockford, Illinois. I'm a third-generation chiropractor. So let's get into this week's question or topic. The topic that came up this week, I was recently asked about, do people often go to the chiropractor for sinus relief? You know, right now we live in Northern Illinois, and we're going through the season change where one day it's 20 and like freezing rain, snowy stuff. The next day it's like 55. And so everyone's sinuses and everyone's immune system is really taking a challenge. And so do people get help with chiropractic for sinus problems? Well, there's not like a sinus adjustment. It's not like you come in and we have a specific treatment for sinuses. But yes, people go to the chiropractor all the time and get relief from sinuses. Here in our office, when the table comes up after you get adjusted, we actually have Kleenexes right there for you to blow your nose. A lot of people, right after we adjust them, their sinuses will open up and drain. Now, the top two bones in your neck innervate your face and other areas like that, along with C3. They also have a lot to do with the trigeminal nerve that innervates your whole face area. So a lot of times if you're experiencing a subluxation, that's when 2 or 3 bones in your neck or somewhere in your spine get misaligned and they create stress. That stress will hit those nerves and those nerves will transmit stress. Or it'll turn off the opposite, that we call it parasympathetic, so the ones that tell your body the danger is gone. Basically 2 bones are misaligned and it's creating not optimal nerve output. And so when we get a chiropractic adjustment, we know that the stress gets relieved because the catecholamines, we see it actually get reduced from the type 4 mechanical receptors in the nerve endings. Basically, what I'm saying is when you get adjusted, the stress seems to go away and the nerves even get happier. And if those nerves go to your sinuses, by getting that area adjusted, your sinuses get happier. And a lot of times people open up and drain like crazy. So we have a lot of people that come in, they say, I've had a lot of pressure in my head, I feel like I got to open up and drain. They'll get a chiropractic adjustment and they'll usually report afterwards they're draining. However, chiropractic is not a treatment for sinuses, but people who have sinus problems seem to get relief after they receive their chiropractic care. Now, how long have we been doing this? Well, chiropractic started on September 18th, 1895 in Davenport, Iowa by Dr. D.D. Palmer. His very first ever patient was Harvey Lillard, first ever recorded patient that is. Harvey Lillard. Harvey Lillard was a janitor there in 3rd and Brady in the Ryan building. And Harvey said he couldn't hear the horses outside. And back then they had cobblestone roads, and he couldn't hear the horses' hooves on the cobblestone roads. So Dr. Palmer at that time decided to take a look at Harvey, and he found a spot, and most of us, this is really poorly record keeping back then, like today. Harvey got an adjustment. And after Harvey got the first ever recorded chiropractic adjustments, where Dr. Palmer said, I'm going to do this is what's going to happen, and this is why it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen. Harvey's hearing came back shortly thereafter. Now, there's some debates. Some people say 2 weeks, some people say immediately. I don't know. But Harvey's hearing came back. Well, today we believe that he didn't probably restore hearing. We probably believe that he probably opened up Harvey's sinuses, allow all that pressure to go away, help the eustachian tube that drains your ear down into your throat open up, and Harvey could hear better again. I believe that's what happened. So many of us chiropractors, we have different opinions on this date and exactly what happened. But in my opinion, I believe he restored Harvey's, opened up his sinuses, got open after the chiropractic adjustment. And Harvey was able to hear again. So how long have chiropractors been helping people with sinuses? Well, in this chiropractor's opinion, since September 18, 1895, by Dr. Palmer himself. And again, like I said, I'm a Palmer graduate, so I went to school there, and Dr. Palmer, the second Dr. Palmer, actually took care of my grandmother. So our family has a long, lengthy history with the Palmer family, I'm very proud to say. So again, as the seasons start to change up and down, people tend to have problems with their ears or sinuses and stuff like that. And a lot of kids do too, especially kids. And a lot of people come to see the chiropractor. Now, another thing that we can do sometimes on the children is we'll do actually a cranial adjustment. Now what a cranial adjustment is when we put a little pressure right behind the eyes. And what you have there is you have a bone inside your skull, and every time I breathe in, my head gets bigger, and every time I exhale, it shrinks. And that's part of the pumping mechanism to keep the spinal fluid moving up and down. So we know this to be true. But the bone right here inside your head is a little misaligned, or I should say fixated. What we do is we put our fingers there, and the patient will breathe in. We'll apply some pressure. When they exhale, we let go, and then we're able to free the bone. The actual motion comes from the patient breathing. There's no real thrust or pushing on us. Like sometimes when people hear we do a cranial adjustment, they're afraid I'm going to try to pop something inside their skull. That is not at all what we do. We just put a little pressure here and a couple of spots in the back. And when we do this, we free that bone up. Now, a lot of times you'll see kids have this issue because it'll rock forward and block their tear ducts, and they get that yellow junk in their eyes, little babies. Otherwise, it can rotate left or right or shift left and right. And when it does that, it makes a part of the eustachian tube, and that will make this eustachian tube that drains your ear into your throat backed up or tight, and the fluid won't be able to move as well. So we'll do a cranial adjustment right there, and that'll move that bone a little bit, or I should say free that bone up a little bit, and then the eustachian tube will open up, and that pressure, that sinus pressure that builds up in your ear will be relieved. Now also when we adjust the second bone in the neck is directly related to these areas. And so a lot of times when we adjust the second bone in the neck, that'll move too, and the eustachian tube will also then open up and the ear pressure will go away. A lot of times people come to see me, they say I have a lot of pressure behind my ear and in my sinuses. Can I get a chiropractic adjustment and see if it'll help it? Again, the chiropractic adjustment isn't for that, but a lot of people get relief because of that. So the chiropractic adjustment is only meant to correct the subluxation. If we correct the subluxation, that part of the body heals, then fantastic, we'll take it. But the ultimate goal of the chiropractic adjustment is just to take the pressure off the nerve area and make the biomechanics, everything work better. And there's also a lot of great side effects that go along with that. Very happy to report. So if you think that this might be an area that you're dealing with, or you think maybe, you've tried a lot of different things for your sinuses and your ear problems, and you're kind of at wit's end, you don't know what else more to do, well, I recommend go see your chiropractor. Now, as a chiropractor, what I would do is I have you come in the office. We kind of do a little range of motion test with your neck. We do a complete history of you, and then we would take cervical x-rays of your spine, because we want to see if these bones are involved. If you get great range of motion, these bones are involved, is there a great chance chiropractic could be the answer to what's going on? Probably less likely. But if you have a decreased range of motion and you have a history of sinus problems, and we x-ray your cervical spine, your neck area, and we find these bones misaligned, am I more optimistic that the chiropractic adjustment might unlock your sinus problems? Absolutely. And that's what we look for. So if you're going to go see a chiropractor, those are the things I would ask the chiropractor to examine. My upper neck area. And a lot of times people also say the first bone between your shoulder blades, your first thoracic, could also be involved. So have the chiropractor take an x-rays of your spine. Again, I would never go see a chiropractor that does an x-ray. That's just my personal. I've seen too many things on x-rays here over the years that were contraindicated to adjust somebody because of either the way they grew or previous trauma. And if I went ahead and just did a normal chiropractic adjustment like I do on the majority of my patients without having seen the x-ray first, that would not have been a good thing for that patient. So I would never personally go to a chiropractor who does an x-ray first. Again, that's just me personally talking. So get your x-rays taken, see what goes on those upper two bones in your neck, do that range of motion test, see how your neck moves or doesn't move, talk to your chiropractor about your history and other things like that. And from there, maybe the chiropractor can give you some great results. The other thing too, we talk a lot about when you're having sinus issues, not really chiropractic, just a good holistic thing, is you really want to avoid dairy products. Dairy products increase the mucus production. So I usually tell patients to cut off the dairy till the sinuses get better if you ever go back to it. And lastly, I'd also tell people that old medicine would always recommend a warm compress. So if you have any issues and you have any questions about the sinuses and things I just discussed, go ask a chiropractor. Talk to a chiropractor about it. Chiropractors are well rehearsed. We take this as much schooling as family physicians do. So talk to your chiropractor first, see what's going on, see if they can help you. And like always, if you have a question about chiropractic, ask a chiropractor. If you have a question for me, if you have a question you'd like to hear me answer or discuss in this podcast, please go ahead and leave a message below. Send us an email or go to our website at Rockford, DC, ROCKFORD, DC.com. Leave me a message there. And maybe next time you come on next week, you'll be the question of the week. All right, everybody. Hope everybody got some out of this. Again, if you have a question for me about the question of the week, go ahead and leave me a message, and we'll talk to you next time. Other than that, stay healthy, stay strong. We'll see you real soon. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.